Hey guys, Zix here. Time for another episode of Minesaga Skyblock. We're gonna go ahead and build ourselves a cactus farm today. Not like this. Well, I mean, yes, like this, but not as big as this. That's not the point. The point is to go ahead and show you guys how to do it. It's actually very simple. It will not take that long to show. As we always do, start out with one chunk. Technically you can do multiple chunks, but if you want max efficiency, you really should just go straight up in one chunk, because every chunk next door is going to spawn a little bit less than the chunk you're standing in. First things first, remember, we want to start on one whole chunk, F3 plus G if you are in 1.11 or higher. If you are not, you need to look at the top left. You see XYZ, you see block, and you see chunk. You want to go from 0 to 15. You want the Y coordinate to be a 1 on the block you're standing on. So as you can see, the Z right now is 0, and as we walk, the Z goes to 15. And then of course if you go this way, we're at 15 and we're going to go down to 0. And obviously this is going to be the same because we just did that. So it'll be 15 to 0. Piece of cake. Now one T3 will handle an entire chunk all the way up, but T3 is not so easy to get. So if you don't have a T3, you have to use a void, and either a tier 1 or a tier 2 will handle it. For the purpose of this video, we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4. We're just going to do T1s. And technically, I wouldn't put this down first for the mistakes, but because now these hoppers are going to pick up everything that drops, which can be annoying. But whatever. Okay. Next thing we're going to do. Technically, you don't need to do these fence posts here, but we're going to go ahead and do it anyway. Just because we want to do a different color. I don't know why I did so many. Why do I do so many things? I don't need that many. You're crazy, man. You're crazy. This? Right? Yes. And as you can see here, we're going to rotate. We're not going to do every block because of the functionality. And like this. And then I'm just going to continue doing this, and I'll see you guys once I fill in the whole floor. Alright. That looks kind of cool, doesn't it? Ooh. Yeah, this isn't centered. It doesn't need to be. He centered it, and he built like a little place for the guy to stand. You don't need to do that. And I'll tell you what, when we get there. Okay. Next step, obviously we're going to need a lot of sand, we're going to need a lot of cacti, and then we're going to need a lot of string. And we just start going. We're going to place one piece of sand on top of all of these. Something important to note. If you build this in Schematica, it's not going to work very well. You almost have to build this manually, and it's a little painful. I'm not going to lie, it's a little painful, and that's why a lot of people you don't see with these cactus farms, because they become obsolete fairly quickly. Once you get a certain amount of spawners, really not that many, and it will completely override the usefulness of the income production of the cactus farm. Yeah, it's important to note that doing this in Schematica is not going to work. It's going to miss a lot of spots inside where you can't reach, and you're never going to know. Which is going to kill the efficiency of the farm. But anyway, once again, I'm going to fill in this whole layer, and we'll come back and we'll do the next layer. Also, you can go ahead and just put these right on top. I happened to luck out to where it skipped the hoppers, but it doesn't actually matter if the fence posts are on top of the hoppers or not. But it is important that your void chest is accessible. You don't want the void chest buried in case you knock stuff in there that's not sellable. And you need to clear it out. You don't want to have to dig through stacks of sand and mess up your entire farm. Because if you... Yeah, just trust me. You don't want to have to do that. It's not fun. Be right back. Alrighty. Kind of looks like chest, don't it? Now we're going to go ahead and we're going to place our cacti. This is a lot easier. You can just hold it down. And if you place a little bit too much, that's okay, because the next thing we're going to do is going to resolve that for us. We're going to go ahead and just place all of this. Like I said, hold down the button. It won't go past 3, so if you accidentally stack too much, don't fret. Not that big of a deal. Mix cactus. Just one. It's probably easier if you don't stack them, but I'm a lazy guy and I just want to hold the button down. Oh, this is nice. It doesn't really work. I was going to think you could just slide across. Oh, but if you do it a certain way, they won't stack. There you go. Aha! Learning better techniques on my own. Slow down. Going too fast. Huh? Oh, not a cacti. Cacti. Okay. Now, as you can see over here, there is going to be a piece of string in between all of these. So what the next step we're going to do is we're going to place that string in there. This part is a little more difficult because it's very easy to misplace. My technique or my suggestion to you guys is look at the hitbox, see the hitbox. Make sure you've got the bottom piece of that cacti selected, and probably go ahead and get in the way. Whoops. Any mistakes you make can mess up a lot of the farm potentially, so you really want to pay attention to what you're doing and be careful. Technically on these mess ups I could just place the sand block, but for the purpose of this episode I don't want to do that. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to finish placing all of these strings, and then we'll be back to do the next step. Be right back. Alright, all the string is placed, so now we grab our sand and we highlight the string block and we place the next piece of sand. Important thing to note here, you need to keep, there needs to be an open space above each piece of cactus, or else there's no room for it to grow. So, well, technically if oh, yeah, I guess it does let me. I was going to say it wouldn't let me, but it does let me. It needs a spot to grow, otherwise it's not going to work. This is a little bit easier because the hitbox now, at this point, now that we're not trying to put it on top of fence posts, it's easier to select. And of course, if we missed any string, we'll see it now. The sand will drop down. But I think I'm pretty confident that I did this properly. Any of these pieces that are on top, we'll just go ahead and break. As you can see, even if you did place all the cactus perfectly, it's likely that some of it has grown by now. So that will resolve that issue. And then from this point forward, it's going to be very self-explanatory what to do. The only other thing to notate is where to put the alt. And that, again, very simple. Let's just finish placing this. And that, my friends, is one entire layer. These will break. Now, at this point, they will go into here, and they will auto-sell already. So at this point, you would get your cactus, and you would continue, just like you did before, as far up as you want to go. And you can technically go all the way up to 255. What you're going to want to do with that is you're going to want to not do cactus as the top layer. Just finish it off with a layer of sand. I think it might actually end up finishing at like 254, but I mean that's up to you guys to decide. If you have the patience to go up that high, then you're a better man than me, because I don't. And the only reason I ever build a cactus farm, I don't build cactus farm for income. I build cactus farm for battle updates. And I'm at a point now where it's not a problem. I'm selling constantly, so I don't have a battle update issue. But some of you guys just starting out, you do have a battle update issue. So you'll want to take care of that. And if you're wondering what I'm talking about, I've talked about it before in a previous season, really. What I'm referring to with the battle updates is you only get your balance only updates. What's with this green circle? I've never noticed that. Maybe that's a 1.8.9 thing. Well, your battle updates only update when you sell at the ding. You hear that ding that happens every 2 or so minutes. If you're not selling something when that ding happens, you do not get a battle update, regardless of how much you sold. And that's why cactus farms are useful, because if you go up high enough, there will constantly be stuff going into the void. So it will see that ding. So it will constantly be selling. Like, see, if you just watch this, you can see them breaking. All of those are going into this. Like, if I sit here and watch it for a second, I bet y'all, these are T2s, right? I bet y'all raw chicken. Yeah, see, you can see it coming in pretty quickly. Oh, that's right. He put spawners up there. I guess, I don't know. Well, that was done. They're just gonna go right back in. That's right. He doubled this as a mob farm. I'll show you. I don't think that's necessary, but I guess it's a good way to use up. It's blocked off. Well, inside here, there's a couple of spawners. He probably has a home set. I think he has a pigman, because you see the gold nuggets. Yeah, but where's the swords? Maybe they removed swords. I don't know. He had guardians in here, I think, and maybe creepers or something. I don't know. I don't know where the raw chicken's coming from, but yeah. He put a couple of spawners in there and let the cactus kill the spawners. So that's an idea if you want to do that. I don't think it's necessary. I'd rather have separate. I don't like mixing stuff. It hurts my head. But anyway, you go all the way up to the top and you place your alt here. My suggestion is not to place the alt on top of a cactus. My suggestion is to place the alt on top of a sand block on the very top. Like I said, I think if you go all the way up, sand will be the top, so it's not a big deal. But if not, just do this and stand here. I don't think console client's going to like you standing on this. I think it's going to cause an issue that you're going to have to deal with. So might as well hit that up before it happens. Anyway, that is it. Very simple. Like I said, one T3 will handle an entire chunk all the way up. Otherwise, 4 T1s should do it. If you notice that, if you click in here and you notice that these guys are full of like this, and they're not collecting, then by all means, add another. It's easy to add. You can break this bottom and it won't hurt nothing because of the fence posts. So like I said, you don't need the fence posts, but if you ever want to add hoppers, that's why the fence posts are there, so that you can break the bottom and add. But that, my friends, is gonna do it for this episode. Hopefully I helped you guys out. Thank you so very much for watching, and as always, take it easy.